In just 48 hours, Nepal's Gen Z protesters brought down a government. But their victory came at a devastating cost. Over 70 people lost their lives, government buildings and luxury hotels were destroyed, and the nation's political and economic stability hangs by a thread. The protests, sparked by anger over rampant corruption and the lives of the political elite, turned deadly from the very first day. This is a story of youth activism, social media outrage, and the high price of political change. Tanuja Pandey, a 24-year-old environmental activist, was one of the organizers. She says the movement was fueled by pride, but also by trauma, anger, and regret. Like many young Nepalis, she had grown frustrated watching the children of politicians, known locally as Nepo babies, flaunt their wealth on social media while ordinary citizens struggled to survive. One viral image showed Saugat Thapa, the son of a provincial minister, standing beside a Christmas tree made of boxes from luxury brands. To young Nepalis, this was a stark symbol of inequality and corruption. Nepal became a republic in 2008 after a decade-long civil war that claimed more than 17,000 lives. But promises of stability and prosperity have largely gone unfulfilled. In 17 years, the country has had 14 governments, with no leader completing a full term. Political power has become a revolving door, leaving ordinary citizens frustrated and disillusioned. The protests began peacefully on the 8th of September 2025. Initially, protesters sang old Nepali songs, marched and called for transparency and accountability. But as crowds swelled, tensions escalated. When protesters approached the parliament area, law enforcement responded with tear gas, water cannons, and live rounds. Some school children were caught in the crossfire. The chaos intensified, with masked individuals carrying petrol and other incendiaries targeting government buildings, including Parliament and the Prime Minister's office. The destruction extended beyond the capital. Over 300 local government offices across Nepal were damaged. Financial losses are estimated at 3 trillion Nepalese rupees, almost half of the nation's GDP. This is comparable to the devastation of the 2015 earthquake. The human cost was equally tragic. Families of protesters killed in the unrest are still coming to terms with their loss. Yogendra Nupain, 23, was shot during the protests while calling for change. His family had no idea he was at the protest until he called them during the chaos. Many young Nepalis face a harsh reality. With a GDP per capita under $1,500, 1 in 3 households relies on remittances from relatives working abroad. The protests reflect frustration not only with political corruption, but also with economic inequality and lack of opportunity. Following the unrest, former Supreme Court Chief Justice Sushila Karki was appointed interim Prime Minister. She promised to heed protesters' demands for an end to corruption, good governance, and economic equality. Yet many remain wary of the army's involvement and the influence of figures linked to violent pro-monarchy movements. Experts warn that the protests highlight a generational shift. Nepal's youth, especially Gen Z, are no longer willing to tolerate systemic corruption and social inequality. They are using social media, peaceful organizing, and direct action to demand accountability. Yet the violence shows the risks of mass mobilization in a fragile democracy. For organizers like Tanuja Pandey, the experience is both empowering and traumatic. This is not just a gentle nudge, she says. It's a bold challenge to a system that has hoarded power for decades. But the scars, physical, social, and emotional, will remain for years to come. Nepal's Gen Z has awakened politically in a way never seen before. They toppled a government, but the path ahead remains uncertain. Will this movement lead to genuine reform, or will the cycle of instability continue? Only time will tell. This is your channel name, bringing you the latest stories of youth activism, political change, and global movements. Stay informed, stay engaged, and stay courageous.